Billy Martin died at 61 on Christmas Day 1989. His pickup truck skidded 300 yards down an icy road near his New York home. The vehicle hit a concrete culvert. Billy was thrown through the windshield. He died shortly after arriving at the hospital. But that crash didn't come out of nowhere. Billy Martin's whole life looked like it was building toward this kind of ending. He was a genius at turning baseball losers into champions, but he couldn't stop destroying everything around him, including himself. The tragedy is that Billy Martin might have been the greatest turnaround artist in baseball history. When teams were broken, Billy fixed them. When players had given up, Billy made them believe again. But every time success came, Billy found a way to blow it up. In 1969, he took over the Minnesota Twins. The year before, they finished 7th with a 79-83 record. Under Billy's leadership, the Twins went 97-65 and won first place in the newly formed AL West. That's an 18-game improvement in one season. Then Billy moved to the Detroit Tigers in 1971. The Tigers had finished 4th the year before with a 79-83 record. Billy guided them to 2nd place with a 91-71 record. In 1972, the Tigers won the AL East title with an 86-70 record. Next came the Texas Rangers. When Billy took over in 1973, the Rangers had just finished dead last with a horrible 57-105 record. Billy engineered a massive 27-game improvement in 1974, leading them to 2nd place with an 84-76 record. He won the 1974 AP Manager of the Year award for this miracle. Later, Billy returned to the Oakland Athletics from 1980 to 1982. The A's had finished last in 1979 with a terrible 54-108 record. Billy led them to 2nd place with an 83-79 record in 1980 and an AL West title in 1981. He won AP Manager of the Year awards both years. Billy's consistent ability to turn teams around came from several gifts. He had fiery leadership that instilled a winning mentality. He was a skilled tactician who made shrewd decisions. He had a knack for player development, helping players reach their full potential. But Billy's greatest stage was with the New York Yankees. He managed them 5 separate times. Think about that. 5 times. No other manager in baseball history was fired and rehired so many times by the same team. The relationship between Billy Martin and Yankees owner George Steinbrenner was the most famous love-hate story in sports. Steinbrenner was known as the boss. He changed managers 20 times in his first 23 seasons as owner. Within this chaos, Billy Martin alone was fired and rehired 5 times. Their dynamic was so well known that Miller Lite beer commercials made fun of it. Even a Seinfeld episode joked about their relationship. Billy's first stint with the Yankees started in August 1975. In his first full season in 1976, the Yankees went 97-62, won the AL East title, and reached the World Series. He earned the 1976 AP Manager of the Year award. The peak of Billy's career came in 1977 when he led the Yankees to a World Series championship. It was his only championship as a manager. The team went 162 with the help of slugger Reggie Jackson. But success made Billy uncomfortable. He seemed to need conflict. He couldn't stand things going smoothly for very long. The most famous explosion happened in 1978. Tensions between Billy, Steinbrenner, and Reggie Jackson had been building all season. As injuries hit the pitching staff and the team fell behind the Boston Red Sox, Billy's stress mounted. On July 24, 1978, in an airport bar during a layover, a heavily drinking Billy made his infamous statement to reporters about Jackson and Steinbrenner. The two were meant for each other. One's a born liar and the other's convicted. The convicted part referred to Steinbrenner's 1974 guilty plea for making illegal contributions to Richard Nixon's campaign. Billy resigned the next day, though everyone knew he was fired. He appeared visibly distressed during the press conference, looking like he was on the verge of a nervous breakdown. This pattern repeated throughout Billy's career. His drinking and fighting weren't occasional problems. They were constant, escalating disasters that followed him everywhere. During his playing career in 1957, a fight at the Copacabana nightclub in New York led directly to his trade from the Yankees. Billy viewed this as an 18-year exile from the team he loved most. In 1960, while playing for the Cincinnati Reds, Billy fought Chicago Cubs pitcher Jim Brewer so violently that he broke Brewer's orbital bone. Billy was ejected, suspended, fined, and sued. The litigation settled for $22,000. As a manager, the pattern continued. While managing the Twins in 1969, Billy joined a fight between his own players, repeatedly punching pitcher Dave Boswell. This incident, combined with his excessive drinking, led to his dismissal. With the Texas Rangers in 1975, Billy's heavy drinking began affecting his performance as manager. He fostered a wild atmosphere on team charter flights, complete with drinking, gambling, and girlfriends. After his second Yankees stint, Billy got into a bar fight with a marshmallow salesman in Minneapolis in 1979. This public altercation led to Steinbrenner firing him again. In 1985, Billy fought Yankees pitcher Ed Whitson in a Baltimore hotel bar, suffering a broken arm. In his final return in 1988, Billy was injured in a fight at a Dallas nightclub just 1 month into the season. Billy had a pattern of destroying relationships with authority figures. He was dismissed from the Twins for insubordination. His time with the Detroit Tigers ended due to differences with management. With the Texas Rangers, he was fired over disputes about trading policy. Billy also feuded with his own players. His most famous player conflict was with Reggie Jackson on the Yankees. His iconic dirt-kicking routine with umpires became legendary. Billy's public embarrassments were countless. He kicked former U.S. Vice President Hubert Humphrey out of the Twins' locker room. He made derogatory comments that led to public relations disasters. One account said Billy was self-sabotaging and that he couldn't stand success very long and always found a way to undermine himself. This suggests Billy was uncomfortable with peace. He seemed to need chaos and conflict to feel alive. His drinking amplified his natural confrontational tendencies. It turned frustrations into public outbursts and disagreements into physical brawls. When asked about his drinking, Billy would claim, "All I had was 2 glasses of red wine." He couldn't face the truth about his problem. This brings us back to Christmas Day 1989. Billy was a passenger in a pickup truck driven by his friend William Reedy. The accident happened when the truck skidded on ice and struck a concrete culvert near Billy's horse farm. Billy wasn't wearing a seatbelt. He was thrown through the windshield and suffered severe internal injuries. William Reedy was charged with drunk driving. His blood alcohol level was allegedly above the legal limit, but controversy surrounds who was actually driving. Reedy initially claimed he was driving, but later said he lied to protect Billy from a drunk driving conviction. No autopsy was performed on Billy, reportedly due to opposition from his widow and George Steinbrenner. The baseball world was shocked by Billy's death. George Steinbrenner expressed deep grief. He said, "It's like losing part of my own family, and there's only one Billy Martin." Lou Piniella was devastated. "This makes me sick to my stomach. You cannot ever think of Billy as anything else but alive." Most significantly, after Billy's death, George Steinbrenner publicly admitted he felt remorse and guilt for not helping Billy conquer his drinking problem. The uncertainty around Billy's death mirrors the chaos that defined his life. Even his final moment was wrapped in questions and controversy. Billy Martin's place in baseball history is complex but undeniable. His professional record speaks for itself. He had an unmatched ability to turn losers into champions. He consistently proved that he knew how to win. Billy's story serves as a powerful cautionary tale about how personal challenges can overshadow even the most brilliant professional achievements. But it's also a story about genuine baseball genius. The fact that George Steinbrenner expressed remorse after Billy's death shows that despite all the chaos, there was deep affection and respect for his talent. Billy Martin was truly a complex figure. He was a man of immense talent and profound flaws. His story resonates because it shows how brilliance and self-destruction can coexist and tragically intertwine. Billy Martin's continued relevance in sports discussions speaks to our enduring fascination with characters who achieve greatness despite their profound imperfections. His legacy is both celebrated for its triumphs and lamented for its tragic flaws. In the end, Billy Martin was a baseball genius. But genius doesn't guarantee peace, and peace was something Billy Martin never found.